bottle?
No,
And then
not
put the
inside.
cap on?
No.
Okay.
The inside of the container should not have any
Okay,
caustic.
Mike.
The inside of the container has no caustic.
Stop.
Can I help him explain, please?
Let him start from fresh. We have a bottle and wire. Start from there.
Okay, take your bottle, put a lid on it.
Yeah.
All right. You don't need anything inside of that bottle right now.
Okay.
Right? Take a wire, wrap it 7 times. Okay. Close it up. So now you have 8 loops. All right. You have your caustic already prepared. You spray it to the outside of that plastic bottle where the wire is. Okay. Coat it. Okay. Soak it. And then let it sit. It'll change. It'll do its nano coating. Okay. No caustic, no chemicals, no anything should be on the inside of that plastic container. Okay. When it's done nano coating, you take the lid off and then you can add the water and everything else to it. Okay. That you want to energize.
I don't still see where the cannabis goes.
The cannabis goes onto the wire. All right.
It's in another bottle that he sprayed.
Oh, it's the outside.
Okay.
Okay. Now we understand.
So
actually,
you prepare that.
Let's do it this way. The original bottle where you put the winding around now has become the cup of the water where you drink from.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
yes.
now I understand. Okay.
Instead of putting, the containers for like CH3 and CH2 or CO2 and amino acids and things like that around your cup of life, all right, we're essentially making a cup of life with cannabis. Okay, cannabis has everything that the human body needs.
So the cannabis and the caustic goes on the outside where the rings are, when you made the loops. Yeah, okay. And then you let it cool down.
Yes, you let the caustic cool down. All right.
And then you fill up the water inside the empty container and you drink.
Yes. And you should get all of the effects of the energized water of cannabis, 100% of the entire plant. Okay. It's killing cancer here in America. All right. It needs to be used around the world. I know that they've got cannabis plants all over the place. Okay. But also that there are some places that don't have it. Take any herbal medicine setup that you might be able to get from your homeopathic store or whatever. Okay. Try to find the ones that haven't been treated with heat. Okay. You can put together your own concoction that will make you feel better. Okay. Just pay attention to what the plant can do for you. All right. And you put it all into your caustic. You bring it to a boil and make it hot. Okay. So it breaks down to the nanomaterial. Whenever you spray that caustic onto any loop or any copper wire, you are asking to trap the light of that, the energy of that. Okay,
I understand. That's perfect. If you go back to today's session earlier on, we referred to this in a slightly different way. That when, for example, Renan made the rings and the wire, that you could spray or put GANs of the material you want on it to get the effect of it. You're doing the same thing, but in a way that the caustic or the coating of the nano GANs of the copper and the GANs of the material which you want to create material of, instead of painting it on it or rub it on it or add to the surface of it, becomes part of the structure of the nanocoat. So it becomes a composite nanocoat. And it's permanent.
Yes, it's like growing skin.
Yeah, it's permanent because it's created within the composition of the nano layer. I understand now. We can understand easier how you explain, because earlier on this morning we explained this process of painting the nanomaterials with GANs and let it dry, that it transfers its energy. Now
Yes.
you explain another method of the same thing.
If you
Mr.
take-
Cash,
Yes.
sorry, it's Modris. Can I add a bit? I just need to go to work, and I want to add before I leave.
Yeah.
About the places where the cannabis is illegal, the way is how we can do. You take the hemp and you grow. Before you grow, you put in CO2 gans inside, and then when you grow, you put something of your DNA, which can be some drop of blood and lymph or sperm, or doesn't matter. And that way, the plant also will contain what you're looking for, and then repeat everything what Mike said, and it could be very good link up and everything what you need in it. And because of hemp, it was tried to genetically modify it to remove that. It still will be hemp, but it's will gonna have this, the energy source in it, which was being held it in the weed.
Yes.
In a way, you are producing illegal material.
Well,
illegal, yes.
it's legal because it's not physically there. All right.
And they measure it,
Thank
and
you,
it's
guys.
just
I have to leave now.
it's just water when they measure it.
It literally is just water, and like I said, I don't believe, and I don't really think anybody cares at this point in their lives. If you're going to, pee hot, like here in America, you have to take a urinalysis test, for some benefits that you get, or a job interview or things like that. I can't tell you if that's going to come up in your blood system or not. All right, because you are an individual.
But you can definitely say you didn't inhale.
I tell you something, the people who are against the Keshe Foundation, you gave them the best recipe. Now they teach the Keshe Foundation how to make weed.
Well, half the world will be out trying it now, though. That's the thing, and spreading the word at the same time.
If they do, then cancer has been eradicated. So those of you that do smoke marijuana, legally or illegally, or are growing it, take some of your beautiful strains that you're making and your flowers and make a caustic out of it. Okay.
And it lasts forever. You don't need to grow and grow, huh?
That is correct. That caustic.
I'll give you a story, very interesting. Years ago, Karen and I moved to a house, and Karen started laughing. She's laughing, you can hear in the background. We went to the loft in the top part of the house. There were 2 sacks, 3 big sacks, like 50-kilo sacks.
Wow.
Of dried marijuana leaf. The people before us, they left it, they forgot to take it. So this way you don't need that, huh? You carry your cup with you, you always have your material with you.
Yes. All right. A little education on marijuana. All right. Fresh leaves will produce 600 to 800 times more cannabinoids. Say CBDs. This is what helps people. All right. The CBDs are what helps people. It isn't the THC. So when you use fresh,
I'm not educated in that line.
I know a lot of people
much.
that are sick with cancer, and the CBDs. Okay, if you use the fresh leaves of it, you'll get 600 to 800 times more CBDs than if you were to smoke it. All right, but now you're using the light essence of it, and you're getting 100% of the energy. So it very
Somebody
well
got excited.
it could very well be, okay, that they drink one of these 20-ounce bottles of water, and you might be able to cure their cancer.
Jó itt vagy, és köszönöm, hogy te arra is hívtál. De szépen Zala salátával.
Nobody is talking.
It's Sandor. Sandor, your phone is open. Your microphone is open.
Shandor, okay, he's closed now.
All right. Any questions? I know you guys have been on for a while.
It'll be nice if you can show us the water process and your bottle in the video in conjunction with our friend from Malta. I think Vince
I figured out. It's okay. It'll be out here shortly. Like I said, I've been putting together a class trying to show the easiest way to visualize the infinity loop, okay, the gift of light that has been given to us. You know, it's not difficult, okay? It is not difficult to understand at all. The process is, you know, whatever you want to attract, you put that into the caustic and you will make the opposite of it, okay? So when you put it to that infinity loop and you have created a magnetical field, okay, it will attract all of those fields to that loop and it will broadcast out the center.
Let me explain to you something which you might add to the knowledge somewhere. When you make an infinity loop, you radiate magnetically as much as you absorb gravitationally.
It's balanced.
It brings a balance. And when you're in that position, wherever you use it, it brings a balance. And when you use it like 7 times, or when you do it 8 times, is very much becomes a stable condition for the field transfer. Because the way you look at it as an 8 loop connecting, you add, in a way, a second double loop into it by connecting back to the front. So you have, in fact, if you look at it from what do you call it, matter state of the energy electron positioning, 2 double ring SS complete, which is mean total stability.
It's balanced.
2 in the middle
and I'll be
balance,
explaining
and
that. Yes.
8 outside. And this is how it works. You have to understand the transfer of the energy one to another becomes totally balanced. If you make different size of the loop, you'll find different effects. If you say your loop number 4 is slightly bigger than loop number 1 and 2 and 3, and then loop 4 and 5 and 6 is the same as the other ones before 4, you'll find you create different position. This is what they call unbalance in your magnetic gravitational field system. So when you're making these loops, make sure in reality you understand how you do it. It's not just making a loop. The loops have to be more or less precisely the same size. The head loop, the top loop is the head, the bottom loop is the anus, if you look at it.
That is correct.
So you need to give from the top to come to the bottom that they come in, but by closing the loop head to tail, you complete the circle without the leakage to the environment. Because when it comes from the north to go to the south by interaction with the other fields around it, it loses a lot of its power. So the system continuously loses. But when you do a loop like the way you've done, most of what is leaked out goes directly into the entry point, which is the south pole, the bottom. I did this, I understood this with the work with Dr. Elia Kostova. When she was explaining the chakras, I was trying to explain, she was trying to explain to me how they look at it. And I understand it this way.
If you can visualize Kundalini, all right, the serpent that wraps around the spine, okay, yeah. It's an infinity loop, okay? The connection, your base chakra and your crown chakra will come together, and that creates your infinity loop. That is when you become one with light or yourself, okay? So in relation to your own personal belief in your own body system, you have an 8 or a 7 loop chakra system inside of your own body, okay? Those are your energies. When when you learn about the light, you're bringing it together and you create the infinity. And you have a true understanding. That is where we're headed with this. Okay, so you can put it in relation with your body, and it'll all be in my class to visualize it, so you can see.
Excuse me, what do you mean your class?
I'm putting together an infinity class. All right.
No, you're not putting an infinity class. You come and teach us the infinity class.
Well, I have to put it together first before I can teach it, because I've got to organize everything.
Put it together. We give you a room to teach.
Sounds good. Let's do this.
You become part of the teacher of the Keshwan. Vince has put your name forward to become a teacher.
That sounds will help humanity, whatever.
What happened, Vince will try in the coming time to set up a system with the full recording. What we set up this portal mobile group, that, or they send you the packages, depends how Vince and Rick decide to do it, and the people in the background which are helping him, that we make a full professional recording of your teaching, and then we use it in teachings in the coming months.
Well, I'm definitely honored.
This is a pleasure to have people like you, the new generation of scientists. So or if it means we move you instead of moving everything to you, we move you with all the bits ready to a location, we do it, or we get a camera crew to come to you, we pay for it to record you professionally, and then that will be taught over so many sessions in the teachings. So speak to Vince, which I think for us with you is to put a camera crew locally to come in and do a professional recording, and then we pay for the services and send the video back to us. And as we said, for all your time, we pay for it as a teacher. And in so many ways, this is the only option we have, to use local camera crews to come and video your teachings, anybody around the world.
Right.
And we need teachers like you to explain it.
Well, please take my pay and send it to somebody who can use it. All right. I'm well off. I'm comfortable. I don't need it.
This is our right is that they say we use people free knowledge for the benefit of ourselves. Is your right to waiver it, or is your right to accept it? It's no problem for us, but we have to be correct.
I appreciate it.
We organize a camera group, get all your things together for 10 hours, 20 hours teaching in parts, and Vince or Kevin or Richard in the background who are responsible for these things will put a camera crew locally. We pay them to come to you and record everything professionally.
Okay.
And or one of them will come to you with a full camera, whatever equipment it needs to do a professional recording, and then we use it for the teachings from October onwards.
Well, may I ask?
So these are all in the process. So now that we've gone international this way, this is what we have to do, and to bring the knowledge shared correctly, and what do you call it? The knowledge you carry, the knowledge like Brennan and hundreds of people in the background testing and bringing is important for the foundation. We have a bright light coming up in India that we're trying to support and bring up to the same point. We try to keep you lots away from each other, and this is deliberate, because it's been my belief, and this is how I run all my life, is once you start reading and taking other people's on board, you change the line of your thoughts. Maybe sometimes good, but in a way you become with the virgin thoughts in the plasma, and we want to keep these separate. That you all build up your own expertise and knowledge and share it that way, because you try to match the other, and this is not this will not benefit many people, because then you all become a school of one thoughts. So it's nice to give you that opportunity. We'll do the same with Renan, we'll do the same with our friend in Malta and our friends in India. We are not moving people around just to suit for others to enjoy. We see this problem now. What we did is a huge mistake sending Eric Clausen to China. He's away from his family and is suffering, but it's something will be good for the foundation. This is wrong. So we let you to teach, to develop, and we support you. And if you want to commercialize it, we look and we can support to do it, we'll do it. You do it in your own area for your own nation.
The commercialization just needs to get out to help people. This is the easiest way.
That's all it is. The more people, the more materials, usable material we put into the market, it's not commercialization. It's showing people there is a new dimension in the work. And when people start using it, others can't scare them. Other people cannot scare people because of it. They can't use a scaremongering system. We've seen that in the past few weeks, what happens with the Keshe Foundation being hijacked. Total scaremongering and slander. Then people see that.
I'm sorry.
We have to do this. We have to be open. Carry on. What's the observation?
Another observation that I found a while ago, I made the comment that you can add graphene or graphite GaNs to anything. And then somebody found out you put a CDRW laser to it and it will create graphene out of the graphite GaNs. Okay. If you make your custom caustic, let's just say you use regular aluminum, the aluminum caustic that we love so much. Okay. If you take a paintbrush, okay, I noticed somebody had that Reiki symbol, okay, that has the spiral and then the line that goes up through the center. Okay. If you were to paint that with caustic onto the piece of
the spiral or the pin?
Somebody was sharing a picture on Facebook about the Reiki symbol that's got a spiral in it, and then a line goes right through the center, kind of like I don't even know how to explain it right now. But anyway.
Yeah, it's like the signs of the chemists. It's like the serpent on the top, but it's just the energy rotation. Yeah.
Okay, but it's yes, it looks like a serpent, but it's flat.
Yeah.
If you were to paint that with a paintbrush, okay, just the line of that, that's where the nano coating is going to grow. All right. If you use regular sunlight and regular warm temperatures and don't add boiling water to it, okay, you get a much natural state, a more permanent fixture of your nano coating. Okay. That's why you guys are experiencing the nice shiny caustic solution effects on your nano coating. Okay. You're growing skin the same way that your skin grows on your body. Okay, except for it's black and it's shiny. That's what something with aluminum skin would look like. Okay, so it's absorbing all of that energy and it's going to convert it to light. But if you put it in the sun or you use natural means, okay, without trying to hurry up the process, you'll find that it works faster. Okay, some of you guys are experiencing nano coating, complete blackness of your wires within a couple hours. All right. Don't expect every loop or every wire to turn black. Not every skin color is black. Okay. So don't freak out if your cannabis loop does not turn black. Okay. It's okay. There are different skin colors out there, different nano coating colors. So keep that in mind. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Is there anything else we can learn?
I would like just add to knowledge, if you add your own slime to any seed and then plant it into earth, it will absorb special fields only for you. That is for any plant, vegetable or fruit or anything. Thank you.
That is correct. That's if you want to make a personal caustic or a personal plant for yourself.
Add your own GaNs to it.
That is correct. Don't, if you're trying to help other people, don't add your blood to it. Okay. Because it may not help them. All right. It's
maybe, maybe you understand why people like the ex-Indian president used to drink his own urine. A lot of people do. because in a way they close the loop.
Yes, it's a common practice. It's being one with yourself. Urine is sterile. It's the most sterile thing. It's just got all the excess nutrients that your body couldn't process. So, why not? Drink it at least once. The alchemists in the old time used urine to make the white philosopher's stone, and it took about 7 years to do so, to make a true philosopher's stone, which you're making in several minutes with your CO2 reactors. So if you like alchemy, go back and read alchemy.
You guys, you guys have reminded me of an unfortunate event I had when I was very young and confused in the middle of the night my drink can or drink bottle with the pee bottle that was beside me in my bed at about 6 or 7 years old. It had a good drink of urine. And that was the first and last time that I did that. But
and most probably that's why you're still so healthy.
Maybe that's what changed me forever and got me to where I am today. Yes.
And another thing for safety, experiment, guys. Make stuff. Okay, you're not going to learn unless you practice. Okay. If you find something that has unpleasant results, please share it, but cut your infinity loop, okay? You have to break the cycle. You have to break the circuit, okay? That's what we're doing with your lives right now, is you're learning how to break the cycles that you're in, your habits, so that you can be a better person, all right?
Now, I'll give you a tip. If you want to strengthen any of the positions in your body, if you make an infinity loop of yourself, as you explained, at the point of where the problem is, or one loop before and one loop after, cut one line of the magnetical and the other loop cut one line of gravitational. You'll find out the energy within you transfers within the frame of the system. Let's say if you have a problem in the fourth chakra, you call it, I call it the energy zone. You make a loop of your structure, the infinity loop, loop. You cut into the, let's say, magnetical of number 3 and gravitation of number 5. If you want to add to it to extract, you cut into number 4 and to magnetical of number 3. I'll explain something now and may add to your knowledge what you added to us, why you create water, and how the position of gravitational magnetic field absorbs moisture of the air from the body through the rotation of the fields within the body of the man. And if you understand slightly on that field, you understand why your bladder is where it is and why you have your kidneys. The water has to come in the condition of the rotation in a given position in the body of the man. As the energy fields twist, is where it drips in. This is where the kidneys convert and you receive. Look into this and then you'll find out why even we get rid of some minerals in our body. I studied this 3-4 years ago, because after 5-6 years ago, after I came back from Iran with the problems I had. And then it's very interesting how you can transfer energy which is not needed. You can't go too down. You got to go a step at a time. You make a cup with the same proposition, with the same loop. You can make with your rings, which we saw with Brennan, or the loops on the cup, different loops that absorbs different materials or rejects different materials from the body. If, for example, you're highly concentrated on calcium, you want to get rid of calcium, you can make such a structure. It's the first time with what Mike has put on the line on the table, is that now you learn more or less how plants make GANSOF materials from the minerals which they absorb from the earth. The root is the point of conversion, matching what is outside to convert it into the matching what is inside. It's the breathing system, what you do in your lungs and in your intestine. And then when it comes to the point of need, it converts to that matter state. There's a lot of teaching in the background with what has been done today, but this is the principal knowledge behind the transfer and the loops and how it is.
Now, another thing that you guys can do, all right, is set up your reactors. Okay, like you're going to get your 3 different kinds of GANs for each reactor. Okay, make 9 containers. Okay, put 3 of the same GANs in 3 containers. Okay, so now you have 3, 3, and 3. Okay, still just 3 types of GANs. Now add hot caustic to one of those containers, each of those GANs. Okay, let the 3rd container dry out. Those are your 3 types of GANs. Okay, now take another container, take a little bit from each one of those containers and put it in that 10th container. Okay, that's your top reactor. Okay, now take a little bit of that, everything that's in that 10th reactor, and put that all in your caustic. Okay, let it cool, boil it, bring it down to nanostate so it's all the same state. Use that, spray your infinity loops. Okay, you only need 1 loop to do the same thing for all 4 of your spinning reactors. The infinity loop will replace your spinning reactor. You just have to position it right. Okay, so does that make sense?
Nope.
Nope.
Not for them, but I understand what you're doing.
Okay. For those that do understand and are a little bit more advanced in it, okay.
No, go back to the layman. Otherwise, we become separated. Let everybody come with us.
Okay. Well, it'll be all part of the class that's going to be presented with the Keshe Foundation.
No, you start the Pandora box. You're going to finish it.
What do you want me to finish?
How you make your rotating plasma core without the machine?
It happens already. The inside of the wire, okay, there's only a slot for each frequency, okay, for each ray of light that you're trapping, okay. So they're not fighting for a position inside. It's already balanced. Okay, that's why you have the infinity loop. You don't have to position or you don't have to load your reactor a certain way. Okay, when you load the reactors, you're creating the positions that you want the light to be in, or you're allowing it to get to that position faster. Okay, when it's in nano state, you already have the essence of that matter that you've put in there, the light energy. It has a spot. It has its own frequency slot. Mr. Keshe was talking about this, in the last workshop. If you watch the movie Lucy, where she becomes knowledgeable and she can see the frequency lines of different cell phone conversations that are happening around, where she was at. Okay, and she was able to single out a single frequency. Well, that's what you're doing, is singling out that single frequency, okay, by adding it to the caustic and then to your nano coating. So it's already got a position in there. It's got its own rotation. Okay, so you're already, it's doing everything for you. So you don't have to worry about the rotation of it. You just have to add the materials because you already know what you want. So you're just going to put it in place. You have all of the knowledge of the placement. All right. Sacred geometry plays a huge factor. Okay. As we saw with, I believe, the video that Alex has shared. Okay. Where he's got the starship formation connected with power beads. Okay. It's an equilateral triangle. It's a three-sided pyramid. Okay. So make a pyramid, put 4 power beads down there, connect them with your wires. Your plasma is going to go wherever you point that wire. Okay, so if you want it to meet in the center, have it all meet in the center. Your light is going to combine there. You decide which direction you're going to put it with your power beads. With the infinity loop, it's already decided for you, and the circuit is complete. Okay, it's balanced, it's automatic. So there is no guesswork. Don't question yourself. Follow your first instinct. I know that everybody out there has some sort of herbal medicine that makes them feel better. Put that in the caustic. Okay? You'll feel better. Put it on your loop. Okay? Wear that loop. Obviously, you want to, protect the nano coating because that's what's holding the light inside. Okay? Put it in a little plastic container or, shrink wrap it or do whatever you have to protect that coating because that's your energy. That's a piece of your soul that you are giving to yourself. So
can I add something? Can I add something with you? I think Brennan is in the background. Is that look at this? If you can share the screen, Webmaster.
Okay, I can see it.
If you look at the wires, the way we saw the springs shown by Brennan, like 10 centimeter, 7 centimeter, and shortened to a pyramid. This is what I was trying to explain to Redden yesterday or the day before in our talks. You can make a pyramid of your springs by size and tape it and glue it, as I said, with the tape. If you can make the energy points of the body, depending on where the problem or weakness is, you can position this pyramid in that position to strengthen. I don't see the video. I don't know if you can see my drawing.
Yes, I can see it.
Yeah, so this process of making a pyramid with the springs creates gravitational magnetic field from this to be connected to this and vice versa. And then the same with every one and every other one. So you created a mass-free plasma within a structure. It's the way you design it and you plan it. And this can have a huge application in different directions. Just by designing and resetting and by understanding the totality. In the thing you talk about the fourth plasma and the other free plasma, or these things can be done. As I said, we are getting to the point of no need for physical reactors to run the reactors. I explained this in the teachings. I don't know in the classroom teachings or in the public teaching. When you understand this, and then you can mix a combination of different material in plasmatic magnetic field, then the cores, what you call the core number 2, 3, and 4, come to light themselves. That's where the fields want to be manifested to be, that they can create a free plasma. Up to now, as I explained before, we made the reactors to dictate the position of the free plasma. Now with this new insight, with the springs which I explained and the infinity circular loop with gravitational and magnetical field together, then you understand what happens. Let me explain, add to the knowledge. This is something, as I said, I've never disclosed this before. Now you understand. We need to add to the knowledge. Can I have some more new papers, please? Look at this. This is what? I don't see the picture on the center. I know what you can see, what you cannot see. Is there a reason for it, Vince? I just see the small picture on the top. I don't see it on my screen.
Okay, maybe I need to pin the picture. Maybe it needs to be pinned. Try that.
Because I only see the one that says SSI.
Well, it's working at this end.
Okay, I don't see it here. Okay, no problem. Let me go back to this. Go back to what you talk about, the infinity loop. This is your infinity loop. Then you understand how gravitational field forces work. This is your infinity loop. There, you presume this to connect to this.
Right.
Now,
The captain's in the center.
now, when you make this smaller, which means you go to the highest strength, yeah, and then you make this bigger, that you go to a further boundary strength. This one is 1 and 1. This is 2 and 2. And now, if you twist back 1 inside the 2, or number 2 inside the 2, this is what you're going to get. You have number 2 with number 1 connected inside. And then in this process, you connect this way. So, in fact, if you look at what unknowingly or knowingly, like in the position of Alex, or with the loop which we gave, we have turned the infinity loop inside itself. And that's why it has such a power. This is the structure of the plasma. This is the working of the plasma. This is what, now you see the structure which you've seen with Alex, the structure which you see with the springs, is an infinity loop which is turned back into itself. The way you made the 8 loops and then the 7 loops and then you connected them back together. This is what it is actually. So you add 8 plus 2, and that's what I told you. The infinity loop which you connected together, it creates a total controlled plasma gravitational magnetic field. And this is how, if you go back to the teaching of the plasma, I explained what is the difference between the plasma and the infinity loop. The infinity loop is this way. If you remember, we said the infinity loop is the field transfer in this manner. And the plasma is a field transfer in this manner, where the gravitational field is still 2 and it sits together where north and north and south join. And then if you look, in fact, this is what you have, the loop inside the loop. You turn it inside itself. And that's why the powers we see with the energy units, which we've seen with Alex, are so powerful. And then that's why with the rings we saw with the setting which we done with Marco, is set this way. Is an infinity loop which is twisted back inside, so you put the gravitational field inside the magnetic field. This is why we saw that spring with Renan, that with the needle and the cover of magnetical and gravitational inside each other. This is what I taught to the private teaching, and I see Renan using it straight away in this structure. because now you're concentrated. This is why, and this is how universal system hold their power, and they become the behavior of a plasma. So when when you see like a double loop inside, and I keep on explaining, the center is gravity, the outside is magnetical, is actually by reducing, pressurizing a stronger field of a loop, turning it back into inside the other, it creates a gap. Don't forget, remember that when we had two magnets of the same dictate the positioning. So when you turn a stronger field inside, the outer has to position itself further, and it creates that gap. And that creates a gravitational magnetic field of any entity of a plasmatic condition like Earth. So in your teachings today, you explain the chakras. Now you understand how it works. How when you make a full loop, you bring everything back, is not 8, is actually 10. And that's why it's so powerful. It becomes what we call in the physics term inert gases, complete. You have 2 electrons in the S1 and 8 electrons in the S2. And it's very powerful. Helium is 2. So you understand that how the system, how it, as a plasma point, operates. This loop which Alex has made inside each other and you all copy is actually like this. Even though you connect 2 together to 1, because the physicality changes the direction in the magnetic field plasma. So all you do, you make a loop and then you turn it back on itself inside it. And to be able to do that, field forces pressurize it to be 1 distance from the other. Then you understand how you trap in within the gravitational field of any material which you need in magnetic and gravitational field strength. Maybe this gives you another dimension to understand how you operate.
We're just doing a physical recreation of the principal fields. That's all we're doing.
We are doing a recreation of the universal order of the balance field.
Now, Mr. Kesh, there's one more you have to consider. You said helium is 2. In light, helium is actually 3. It's 3 complete infinity loops. Okay, so you're missing.
Pardon? Can you repeat?
In light, okay, for it to be balanced, there are 3 infinity loops. Okay, polarities stuck together like magnets. Okay, positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative. Okay, that creates the balanced light energy field of helium. So there's 3 infinity loops for helium. There's 2 for hydrogen. Okay, and then a single is called a neutrino. Okay, the neutrino is the very same thing that you make of what you call the Carolina core. Okay, for each twist that you have inside of that loop, wherever it's twisted, you're creating a tiny neutrino or a tiny Carolina core. Okay, and for each twist, you're adding the Carolina core to each other. Okay, so that's how you get the increase in power on a visual picture, I guess, so that you can visualize it. You have to complete the entire plasmatic circle and add 1 to make it balanced. So for numbers' sake, light, if you, like I said, start with hydrogen, it starts at the atomic number of 2. Okay, the opposite of light is dark light. Okay, it has an atomic number of -2 for hydrogen. Okay, it only means that it's a negative plasmatic polarity. Okay, and you're using that, and that's what you get the balance from. And I'll be able to explain that when I get the tables of light out. Andy Ross from Australia, fantastic graphic artist. If you could get him on your team, he is well worth it. He has been able to take my mind and turn it into a computer graphic. He's fantastic. We're connected, and I would really like to work with him and Kevin from Austria for this video if it's possible. But they'll make it faster, a lot easier, because I've been working with these guys for the last 9-10 months. We understand each other's lingo. We have that connection. But
you to organize that with the team in the background.
Okay, that's fine.
That's why a team with Richard, Kevin, Vince, and a couple of other people, 2 or 3 people in the background has been set up. They feel comfortable working with each other, and that goes along with the recordings and everything else. You got to organize it with them where you all feel good to work.
Now, in the classes that are coming up, they'll be able to show you guys how to take the one caustic, okay, and then get the different strengths of it. Okay, it's still the same light field. One's just moving faster than the other. Okay, so it's the same element of light, but it's at a different frequency, and that's where Fibonacci number sequence comes in. The number of twists, the direction of the twists. We're going to be showing the flow of plasma as the infinity loop. You literally have to think of and make the hard copper disappear and turn it into light in your mind, so you can visualize what the effects are. And it's so easy, all you have to do is add 1. Okay, the table of elements, that we know it, is infinite. Right now we've got like 120, or whatever number of elements that are known to the general population. Okay, but the number of elements is infinite. All you have to do is add 1 infinity loop. Okay, you can create.
You know what I always say, whatever number element you say, I can make it 1 because I can add 1 to it.
That is correct. You can always add 1.
Whatever number, there is always not larger. But then maybe we can add to the knowledge in a different way too. In the future, when a man opens into space, the direction of the flow of the gravitational magnetic field of the galaxial loop shows the direction to the center of the universe.
In the center of the universe,
a
gigantic neutrino.
Pardon?
In the center of our universe, and in every universe, is a gigantic neutrino, a gigantic Carolina.
No, it's a very elongated. It's still moving. It's a bullet which has gone into a water. It's still making a trace. You see it, and it's still going forward.
That's right.
It's not spherical.
A neutrino is flexible. Okay, it's stretchy.
It's
like
not
elastic. The more energy you put into it, the bigger it can get. Okay.
But when you look at the structure of galaxies, the way they are positioned in totality, they all look into the center of the universe in their field direction. So you will find out what we've seen, like the loop of the gravitational field still exists in the interaction of the fields of the universal galaxies. But in totality, the way they sit, they centralize towards the center of the universe in the same form as the loop. And in a way, as you go to the center, the loop gets smaller. As you go further, the loop gets bigger. And in the conditions that magnetic gravitational field radiate, they always end up to be gravitational, not magnetical. This is another important point you got to add to knowledge. And because of this gravitational increase, that's why we see supernovas. The position is so much that the gravitational field decides this is what I'm going to release to keep on to the center as I want, as I can handle as a high strength. Because every supernova condition you call it creates a stronger core. Because more concentrated fields are gathered at the highest strength in the center. You can do the same thing with production of materials. You can start with a very light, release the weaker strength, and build from a hydrogen into the center of the hydrogen plasma to a plutonium, uranium, and further on. So you can make anything you like from one atom. Now that we have shown this double loop and you're understanding this, it should be very easy for you lot to be able to produce any material from hydrogen. Anything you can wish. All it is, you have to make this center loop tighter. That in tighter, you go to a stronger gravitational field that allows the stronger magnetical field to be released, a bigger mass. Behavior from energy point of view is strength. There is a difference between the mass and energy of the mass. And the energy of the mass of an electron or a proton is the same as the energy mass of the universe. And that's how they connect to each other. That's how every element is connected. Not mass as a weight, but mass as the strength of the gravitational field. Then you understand how everything, more or less, ends up with the same elements in each universe according to the gravitational field strength of the center mass energy. It's a huge difference. In time, man will understand this, because then when you do that, you can go from one universe into another without actually doing much work. Because then you tune to the gravitational mass of the given universe within the structure of the same plasma of the, let's say, electron.
Soon it will be revealed on how to travel on light, how to transport things. You know.
Already has been.
Oh, I mean,
it
it's
needs a blind not to see it.
Yes, I understand it. You know, people aren't ready for it yet. You know, you have to understand your soul before this will work for you. Okay, you have to complete your own chakra system. Okay, you have to take care of the things in your life that are causing you problems. If you're working on a project and it's just frustrating you, stop it. Don't do it anymore, because that's not what you're supposed to be doing. Okay, do what is easy for you. Take the path of least resistance in your life. Okay, it's not, and I'm talking to the general group that is listening to these every day. If you want your stuff to work, you want your projects, all of your failed experiments that you look as failures are not failures. They're corrections to your soul. Okay?
Now you understand what I tell you, why every reactor built has the capability to fly. And they keep on telling me, he keeps on saying it, but it doesn't happen.
That's right, because you're not taking care of your own soul. You're expecting it to be given to you. Okay? And we can't do it. We can't hold your hand and tell you to go and deal with your daughter. Okay? Or, you know, make peace with your daughter. Make peace with yourself. Okay? Let things go. Know that everything that you have experienced on this planet right now had to happen. Okay? You had to do the suffering so that your body, your RNA, will remember, and you can learn from that experience. And when it's time to go out and reseed and repopulate the universe, Okay? You will pass on that information and you will share that information with all of the entities in our universe. Okay? We had to experience that. All right? So now you got to learn to let it go and say, hey, it happened for a reason. Okay? All of those reasons have led me to that point right now, at this point in time, and I'm listening to Mr. Kesh and I'm listening to Mike on this recording for a reason. Okay? Mr. Kesh and everybody else out there that is adding to the knowledge, we're all leading towards the light. Okay? You're learning to work with light, you're becoming light workers, and you can only use it for helping people. So if you have animosity in your heart and your soul, you're not going to be able to do this. Okay? So you have to literally be at peace. That doesn't mean you have to be a pushover. That doesn't mean you have to take things from people because you're a spiritual person. Okay? You're not a pushover. You're one of the strongest beings on this planet right now. Okay? Because of your knowledge. Don't let anybody push you or deter you. Don't let them bully you, because that's what our society is based on. Be your own individual and stand up. You have the power right now in this infinity loop and all of the teachings that Mr. Kesh has given us, okay, to change the world. But you have to start with yourself first. And if you can't fix yourself, you can't fix anybody else. All right, I'm done. I'm sorry.
I think we're going to call it a day. We've been going nearly 5 hours.
That was excellent,
6
though.
hours.
Yes, it has been almost 6 hours now. So that's likely enough for today's teaching.
Thank you for the opportunity to share my findings. As with anything that I say, my will is my word and my word is my will. Okay? Well, what I say for me and what I teach you guys, nobody else in the background could use it for evil. Just like Mr. Kesh said. Okay? It's done there on purpose. This is the training grounds. So, I love y'all.
Let's see what we bring on the table. Let's see what we can do, and let's see where we can end up. Let's see if we can progress towards the final stage to achieve peace. And as I said, I again emphasize, if you're listening to these teachings today, it's part of the health, peace within the body of the man. We request you to approach, give, go out to United Nations. Every United Nations office say this is what we demand: world peace roadmap. This way it will go on the floor of the United Nations. It's us who has to ask for the peace, for the people who represent us to carry it out. We made a very clean-cut explanation in Mike shows that how much benefit this technology, peace between Iran and America has brought, and the people who start seeing it stopped opposition. Peace has a lot of dividend, not financially, but for the soul of the man too. So I ask you, please, if you are listening, if you are committed to world peace, go a step further and deliver it. Deliver the message to United Nations. United Nations cannot refuse accepting gifts of peace. That's what it is made for. Thank you very much for your time. And see each other next Thursday. Maybe we have some more good news for each other by the time we meet. And please post every test you do. Cancer, any other research. Anything you like to do, just do. And this is important. This is very important that we release the knowledge for ourselves. And you've seen how release of knowledge by individuals is adding to the strength of that. We now see the fruit of the technology. Free energy, free water, free health, by sharing it openly. And let the ones who want to do whatever you do, you do. I've just been shown by Caroline an article by PeaceWiki, which is a copy of what is appeared on Cuckoo Foundation, repeating the same thing. Because we denied access to Mr. Alan Sterling for his pedophile activities, which he says he's repented. And what it was funny when he told me, for past 30 days I've been clean, which means 30 days ago I raped a child. And he wants the Keshe Foundation to have, and if you don't do it, I have a PeaceWiki, I can show it. And this is all written by him. So now we see criminals ganging up, but the goods has to come forward. So understand our purpose is peace, and that's how we should deliver it. This article from PeaceWiki, we look at it. The files helping each other, because he confessed that he's a pedophile. We got the email of him. We can release it. And what shocked me is says for past 30 days, I repented and I'm clean. But till next time. So please share the knowledge that people cannot abuse. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, that wraps up the 74th Knowledge Seekers Workshop for Thursday, August 13th, 2015. And once again, thank you everybody for attending, and also thank you to all our presenters that showed things today that made the show. Okay, till next time. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.